Hello everybody and welcome back. I hope that you're having a lovely morning, afternoon, evening, whatever time it is for you when you're watching this video. I am very excited to share today's video with you and I hope that you are equally as excited to watch it. Today's video is a haul. How exciting. So recently I got into some of the university courses that I applied for and I was very relieved and very excited, and I decided that I was going to buy myself some books to treat myself, and my mum bought me a couple of books as a present, so I've got quite a stash here to go through and show you. Some of these books I have read. The order came in last week and I could not wait to get my hands on them, so apologies for the fact that it took me so long to get these to you, that I've already read some of them, but I will not give you a review in this video. You'll have to wait till the end of the month. Sorry about that. But yeah, I've got 11 books to get through, which is quite a pile, so I'm going to stop rambling on to stop this video being supremely long. Let's get into it. So I have my pile with me off to the side. I'm just going to pick them up in whatever order that they're piled and we'll get started. So first of all is What If It's Us by Becky Albertalli and Adam Silvera. This is the first book I think I own that is written by multiple people, and I really had a bit of a war as to where to put it in my bookshelf. I was like, oh, do I put it in A or do I put it in S? I think I put it in A because Becky Albertalli's name is first up when they're written, so I decided that I would just put it there for now. Maybe in 6 months I can change it. We'll do like a week rotation. I've just started reading it. As you can probably see, there's a little divot where I've dived in. I'm enjoying it so far, but I'm literally like 20 pages in, so we'll see. This story follows Arthur and Ben, who meet in a post office in New York, one of which is a massive Broadway fan and thinks that love at first sight is possible and he believes in love from the movies, and the other perhaps not so much. That was my summary of the blurb for you. Moving on, we have Fangirl by Rainbow Rowell. This is one of the books that my mum got me. I'm quite excited to read this actually. I am a very big fan of Carry On, particularly the characters in Carry On. Me and Simon Snow are like tight. I love him very much. He is me and I am him. So I'm quite excited to read this and actually get to see their backstory, I guess, or like their creation. Next up, I have Final Draft by Riley Redgate. This follows a character called Layla Piedra, who is a writer, and she falls in love with her boss or someone. I'm not really sure, I've not read it. It sounds very interesting, so I'm very excited to read it. That was a really bad description. Next up, we have How to Build a Girl by Caitlin Moran. If I'm being honest, I only bought this so that I could then watch the TV show, and it would make sense because Beanie Feldstein's in it, and I really like Beanie Feldstein, so I mean, it does sound very interesting. If somebody had recommended this book to me before I knew the TV show existed, I'd probably still bought it, but currently I bought it because I want to watch Beanie in the show, but I want to read the book first because I prefer reading the book before I watch the adaptations. Next up, we have a book that contradicts the statement I just made, Boy Erased by Garrard Conley, which is also been adapted into a film, which I have seen, and I don't think you can say you enjoy Boy Erased, the film. I wouldn't call it enjoyable, but it's amazing. I think it's a very well done film. I think it's beautiful. The casting I feel is great. But yeah, this is the memoir that the movie is based off of, and I enjoyed the movie, so I really want to read the book and see it from the actual perspective and not like the dramatized version. Next up, we have Miss Patti Lupone's memoir, which is called Patti Lupone, a Memoir. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure when she announced that she was releasing a memoir, she held like a competition for her fans to name it, and then just none of them won, and she just called it Patti Lupone, a Memoir. I don't know if that's like an urban legend, but I feel like that happened. I've heard a lot of people talking about that happening, and brilliant, what a legend. Next up, we have another one that my mum got me, which is Identical by Ellen Hopkins. Oh, it's not doing any favours with my ring light. I think this is a crime novel but I'm not entirely sure because I've not read it. But I think it's like a crime novel or like a thriller, which is quite interesting because I don't read a lot of them, so maybe this will unlock a love for a whole new genre. I think that's what my mum's hoping will happen because she reads a lot of crime novels and they're all on the Kindle, so I think she's hoping that'll be what finally turns me to the Kindle side. Next up I have Get Well Soon by Julie Halpern. I've also read this one. This follows Anna Bloom, and basically her parents put her in an inpatient unit for mental health, and maybe it's not so bad as she thought it'd be, maybe it is. The blurb doesn't obviously tell you how it ends or else nobody would read the book. There you go. It's an interesting premise. I think, what's the other book that has the premise of that? It's kind of a funny story by Ned Vizzini, the guy who also wrote Be More Chill. And I don't know if I've read that book or if I've seen the movie, but it's definitely a premise that I find interesting. Next up, I have More Than This by Patrick Ness. Now, I have read this book before. I think I must have read it years ago and my copy has disappeared into thin air and I'm very annoyed about it. I was like, screw it, I'll just buy another one. I'll stop hunting everywhere for it. It's clearly not in my house, so we'll just deal with it and buy another one. So I did. And I'm very excited to read it again because I've got a really distinct memory of the first time I reading it giving me nightmares. But it's like not a horror, and I think it had more to do with the fact that I was like 12 or 13 and not to do with the fact that the book is terrifying. Hopefully this time it won't give me nightmares. I would appreciate if that didn't happen. But I am really excited to read it because I've said before that Patrick Ness is one of my favourite authors. As you can see up there, I've got the collection. I think I'm missing one book of his, maybe two, and then I'll be done, which is very exciting. It'll be my first full collection. Yeah, I'm very excited to dive into this. It's probably going to be one of my next reads once I finish the Chaos Walking series. I've got one book left in that series. I've taken a bit of a break from it because those books are a lot. They're very good, but there's a lot happening and I needed a break to like process before I dove. I think it's dove before I dove back in. That doesn't sound right. Basically, I needed a break before I decided to dive back into the series to process what had already happened in it. So I've read some other books whilst I'm chilling out, and then hopefully I'll get back into that one very soon, and then hopefully this one. We're down to the last two. Next up we have How It All Blew Up by Arvin Ahmadi, a character called Amir who runs away to Rome in response to coming out to his parents, and a lot of stuff happens. I've read this actually since it came. But it's a very cute premise. I was very excited when I read the blurb for this to get it. I can't remember who recommended this to me. I think actually I seen this in particular as a TikTok recommendation video by, is it A Very Queer Book Club? He's like, to me he is the face of Book Talk, specifically recommending queer novels because that's his mission statement and I enjoy every minute of it. I've bought a lot of books or put a lot of books in wish lists that he's told me to do and I trust him. So the last book in my pile is The Meaning of Birds by J. Robin Brown, and it follows a character called Jess as she tries to deal with grief and how to live on past grief and how to process and cope with the effect and emotions that grief causes. I'm very excited to read this actually. It sounds very, very good actually. I'm really looking forward to it, and I can look past the fact that it's a hardback because it sounds very, very interesting. But yeah. Okay, so that is all for today. I hope you enjoyed looking at my haul. I will link below where I got the books because it is quite a lot of books and I don't usually spend a lot ever, but I bought them pretty much all secondhand from World of Books, which is a lovely website that sells very cheap secondhand books. I will link that website down below, and I will try and link the guy whose TikTok I was talking about earlier. I hope that you enjoyed this. Maybe you've found a book that sounds interesting to you. If you have seen one that you think seems interesting but you're not quite sure, come back at the end of the month and hopefully I'll have read it by then and you can get my review from it. If you do want to stay, it would mean the world to me if you would subscribe, maybe even turn post notifications on, leave a cheeky wee comment. All of these things do me the world of good and I really appreciate them all. If you have any recommendations or videos that you'd like to see in the future, please don't hesitate to let me know about that too, and I will see you next week. Bye!